Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I had to really quickly put myself together, put my little bit of um some glow cream on my face. I don't even have earrings on. It's been a very stressful day. I have some major announcements coming up in the next few days. And so that will explain to you why I'm doing this here in my bedroom at the very last minute, because I know that you guys wanted me to come on and continue having this conversation about Black female health and women's experiences with the healthcare system and the dual effect of what it means to have health care. And in my last video, I spoke about how healthcare and nutrition are not mutually exclusive to each other. They're two different parts of being healthy. And this is something that is very, very imperative to the Black female mortality rate in the West. And at the moment, right now, we have a very high rate of mortality in the United States, where Black women are dying at higher rates than their white counterparts or any other counterparts because of preventable diseases. And I touched a little bit on the issue of the birth rate mortality, which is something that is especially important and close to me because I'm a mother and I have two children. But I was recently talking with a friend about two stories that are not actually the exception, but unfortunately the rule. Now, I have an aunt who I'm very close to, who is very dear to me, who passed away a couple of years ago. I think it's 2 years now that she passed away, after battling cancer for almost 2 years. But I could always remember her struggling with her health for decades. And she had diabetes and she had a series of other health problems, but she always worked. And when she's actually younger than my mom. My mom is 70 years old, and this woman, my aunt, was about 56. She was just pushing around 60, and she had cancer on again, off again. And one of the things that I knew specifically about her lifestyle was that she was constantly working throughout her sickness. She never took a day off. And if she did, she took a day off to go gambling and partying with her friends. The second thing that I noticed about her and her lifestyle is that she was taking care of everyone. She was taking care of her sister's kids because she had also passed away due to a health issue that was related, that was preventable, but didn't get to on time because she couldn't afford healthcare, and also healthcare was not easily accessible to her. And so she ended up taking care of that person's kids. And then that one of the kids that she ended up taking care of also had a child that she was also taking care of. Now, these stories are not actually the exception, they're pretty much the rule. My aunt is one of many women who find themselves in a situation where they're taking care of everybody else except themselves. Now, long story short, unfortunately, that niece that she was taking care of also died because of a health preventable disease similar to what my aunt had. And yes, she was younger than I am. Our niece, my cousin, was in her early 20s, if that, when she passed away. And this is not to say that, she didn't get support or whatever the situation was. It's just that this is a cycle effect where women who don't know how to take care of themselves cannot teach others to do the same in their family. I have another aunt, well-to-do woman who I admired and revered all my life, who passed away alone during the corona time by herself, who had struggled with her weight her entire life. The entire time I knew her, she struggled with her weight. And while she was always so conscious and aware of the fact that she wanted to lose weight, she was very, very desperate to try to find someone to help her, support her through that journey. And a part of the issue that we talk about, when we were talking about as a family, when it comes to addressing her and her weight, was one of the things that I brought up in my last video, which is that she is a person who is very strong-willed, educated, and extremely stubborn in her way. She's always right, and she's very intelligent, and she can argue her way out of any situation. This is very intimidating for almost anyone that has ever come in contact with her. And it made it very hard for anyone to try to give her advice and tell her what to do, because nobody can tell her anything. And this issue is something that Black women face as a part of our participation in our own decay and deterioration of our health, is because our attitudes towards people telling us anything is so strong that nobody can tell us anything. And I think that one of the things that I realized when I look back on these women, who I have many more other countless stories very similar to this one, is that we are the ones that end up losing out in the end. And I have another, but I want to end by saying that I have a success story. My grandmother, who will be turning 93 next May, I taught to eat better and healthier at the age of 70. Now, she got 20 years more of her life because I was the person there day in and day out, cooking her meals, hiding her sweets, making sure she was eating less refined sugars and less refined flours. And my grandmother is one of those people who suffers very little with her affliction of diabetes. She has not had to have anything cut or taken away or taken off of her, and she still has all of her five senses and is very alert and remembers everybody's birthday to this day. She's a success story. But what that took for us is a lot of love, a lot of humility on her part. I'm very admirable of my grandmother's positive attitude. Even though she's still a very strong-willed person, she knows what it means to be cared for and to be looked after, and understands the importance of good health. And while this is something that we have lost, and even in some of her children, like her aunts, like when she would call and say that I was, abusing her because I didn't let her eat her junk food that day, I knew what my gift was to my grandmother. And that was that no one gets to see their great grandchild grow up from a child to an adult. That is a blessing and a gift that comes with personal sacrifices and discipline, and is only possible by those around us who love us enough to tell us the hard truths that we don't necessarily want to hear at the time, but it is imperative to our survival and our quality of life. And that is the message that I want to share with my Black women on this channel, all 21 of you. I know most of my channel's audience are male, but I want to welcome the sisters who have decided to take that leap and to hear the hard truths, because it will benefit you in the longer run. I love you guys. Good night, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Stay safe and stay free.